So you guys do well at that show. You start working a record. You head to Little Mountain Sound to record, as I recall. What do you remember about recording for the first time at Little Mountain Sound?
Well, we went in with Bruce Fairbairn, who had some experience as a producer for a band called Prism, who were another Canadian band around about the time that we were starting out. He was very well versed in the art of diplomacy and ego massage and all those things. Now, you also have to understand that by the time we got into the recording studio, we had already paid our dues in the nightclubs for probably 8 months. So these songs were completely under our fingers and in our hair. And I mean, it was just so streamlined when we went into the studio. They put mics up. We usually got these songs done in 1 or 2 takes. And Bruce was like, I can't believe this is so, so well, we've been doing this for eight months, and like playing our typical shift when we were playing nightclubs would have started us at 9 o'clock and we go till 2 a.m. And we did all original music. There was no cover tunes. So maybe once in a while we'd throw in a Led Zeppelin jam or something, but, and people loved it.
Now, and back in that day, I remember back in that day, at least in the States, you'd have a band and they would play like 3 or 4 nights in a row at one particular club. And they would just, is that the same way it was then? Or were you bouncing from club to club?
Yeah. We actually played 6 nights a week. So Monday to Saturday. And then Sunday that was our rest day. So it was grueling, but it was also, it shaped us and it allowed us to see directly, like you get a visceral connection with the audience with a song when you're playing in a nightclub, because it's so close. It's so, everybody's hunkered in and you're trying out a new song. You can tell immediately if there's some kind of a connection being made or not. Mm-hmm. And so what a great, laboratory to try out, your experiments of your songs in front of people. So that was really good. So when we got into the studio, well, we had gone through all that and we had selected the songs that we thought were, had got the best response and the ones that we enjoyed playing. So Bruce basically sat behind the control room desk and just press play, plus record. And we had it all done within a week, all the beds. And then we took another week and a half to do all the overdubs, and we were done and delivered it to the record company, I think under budget. So they loved us. And then it went out onto the radio waves. And I can remember we were still playing clubs in a little town called Lethbridge, Alberta. And Mike and I were driving to the drugstore. We had a rental car. We're going to get, I think he had a head cold. We were going to get some aspirin or something. And we're driving along and our song came on the radio. The Kid Is Hot Tonight. And we pulled over, and it was like that scene in Wayne's World where they were listening to Bohemian Rhapsody. We just stopped and we were just rocking our heads like,
yeah, it's kind of like
high-fiving, and it was just such a, oh, it was a brilliant moment because, all that work and all that sort of fantasy you have about it, it's reality. And you're listening to it on the radio and you can't believe your ears that somebody's actually playing music you worked on and wrote on the radio. So yeah, we've had some great moments.
Did you guys think at that time you were about to start a journey selling like 10 million records?
Yeah. Well, we connected. Somehow we were the right band at the right place at the right time with the right songs. And we really had a good strong run for probably 8 years, I think.
And perhaps the right producer, right?
I'm sorry?
And the right producer.
Of course, yeah. Bruce Fairbairn for the most part. And then we had Tom Allen, who did Lovin' Every Minute of It. And then we went back to Bruce. And Bob Rock, of course, who's another name that you associate with us. And then he went on to work with Bon Jovi and Metallica and so on. So we actually just worked with Bob a couple of years ago. He had some studio time and he had a couple of songs that he thought the band might have fun recording. So he had been working with a couple of guys in Nashville and he said, hey, do you guys want to check out these songs? So we did, and we went in and recorded them. It was just more of high school reunion than, having any expectation that these songs were going to catch on by any means. But it was fun. It was an exercise in sentimentality, I think, more than anything.
Out of curiosity, how did you guys get tapped to write the United States team's Olympic theme for the '84 Olympics?
How do we get, sorry?
Did you guys do some song for the Olympics, an Olympic theme song in '84 or something like that?
We
I
did.
read that somewhere.
Yeah, good memory. So that came to us, that was a request that came to us from, I don't know if it was Giorgio Moroder. Remember that he was a tech, dance tech kind of a guy. He wrote a lot of music that was kind of the new age techno dance music. Giorgio Moroder. I don't know, not sure if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but anyways, they tapped him to write this piece, and I think he subsequently offered it to us, and it was on ABC Sports. It got used a lot for that occasion, and it was a song we probably wouldn't have written because it was very specific to the whole, competition and the Olympic Games spirit. So, but it was fun, and I remember recording it now in Chicago. I think it was. We were on the road and we went in and did it. And it turned out quite good.
Now, out of all the hits that you guys have released, which one surprised you the most at the success that it found?
Honestly, for me, it was Working for the Weekend. When Paul first brought that song to us, I was like, really? Okay, I get the vibe. It's a real working class man song. And it's got a great hook. But I had no idea that it would become the iconic, definitive song for us. When it started to catch on, I just was like, wow, I never would have seen that coming, quite frankly. I'm glad it did, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't a song that I thought, I mean, when we had Turn Me Loose and The Kid Is Hot Tonight and the other hits that were on the first album, I thought, yeah, those are solid songs. They've got, great structure and Mike sings them well. And for whatever reason, I didn't get that same feeling for Working for the Weekend. I just thought, hey, it's a solid song. Let's see what happens. Man, was I wrong about that song. It just was the ultimate, 80s anthem.
Even to this day, I think I was watching The Masked Singer like a couple of weeks ago, and somebody performed that song on The Masked Singer. So I mean,
know it's been used so many. It's the little song that could, right? I mean,
yeah.
There was that hilarious version that Patrick Swayze and Chris Farley did when they were Chippendale dancers.
Yeah.
And it's been used in a couple of movies. So yeah, it's just amazing how that song just has been part of the milieu of the 80s culture, just stuck for sure.